Today we'll be talking about like terms. Now, like terms are going to be terms that have two things in common. They have the same variable or variables, and they have the same exponents. Okay, so an example of this would be like if I had 3x squared, a like term to this would be 4x squared. Notice how they have the same variable of x and they have the same exponent of 2. Okay? Now, simplest form is talking about when an expression can't be reduced or simplified any further. Okay? Now, that appears sometimes when you're either at the end of simplifying a problem, so you can't go any further, or you may start with an expression that you can't do anything to. So rather than forcing the issue, you write it's in simplest form, or you can say simplified. Okay? So here are some combining like terms examples. So if I have 8p and 3p, looking at both these terms, they both have the same variable of p, and both p's both have the same exponent of 1. So therefore this fits into our category of like terms. So then 8p minus 3p is 5p. So it's almost like subtracting 8 minus 3, except you have a variable attached to it. So then, since there's nothing else that goes with 5p, then that is in simplest form, and that is our answer. Okay? Now, looking at the next one, we have 9y squared plus 7y plus 2y squared minus 3y. Now, you may have multiple pairs or groups of numbers that are like terms, so let's define those. So I have a 9y squared. It looks like I also have a term 2y squared. So those are like terms because they both have a y and they're both squared. Now, we also have a 7y. So looking at that, for a like term, there's negative 3y. So those are like terms as well. Notice how the number in front has nothing to do with whether it's a like term or not. So once we put them together, 9y squared plus 2y squared gives me 11y squared. And then 7y minus 3y gives me 4y. Now notice how I don't do anything else. It says that the y is squared, but notice how we don't square the 11, because the square is only going to y, and it's already squared, so therefore there's nothing to do. Remember, don't force anything that isn't there. So here, 11y squared and 4y are not like terms, so that means we are in simplest form. Now let's do some other examples. So let's say I have 4x squared minus 3x to the 5th plus 2x cubed plus 8x to the 4th plus 10x cubed. Okay, now here I want to first identify my like terms. Now looking through here, I only can see that 2x cubed and 10x cubed are like terms. Now, even though the other numbers are not like terms, doesn't mean that you just forget about them, one, or try to shove them together, okay? If they're not like terms, they're not like terms, and that's okay. Sometimes you may have 10 terms and only 2 of them go together, so the rest are just there to be there, okay? So, putting these together, I get 2x cubed plus 10x cubed is 12x cubed, okay? So that means for the rest of our terms, we're just going to write after the 12x cubed. So I put plus 4x squared minus 3x to the 5th plus 8x to the 4th. And since there are no like terms, I'm done. Okay? Let's do another one. So if I have 8x to the 4th minus 3x, so 3y to the 4th minus 4x to the 4th plus 10y to the 4th minus 4x to the 4th. Okay, so here I have lots of like terms. So I have 8x to the 4th, that goes with negative 4x to the 4th and negative 4x to the 4th. I also have, let's pick a different one there. I also have negative 3y to the 4th, and I also have 10y to the 4th. Okay? So now, if I want to put stuff together, let's use a different one there. Okay? Now I want 8x to the 4th minus 4x to the 4th, so that's 4x to the 4th. Then minus another 4x to the 4th, which gives me 0x to the 4th. Okay? Now anytime I have 0x to the 4th, 0 times anything based on our multiplication property of 0, that means that it's just 0, right? So do I have to write anything? That would be no. So then I can just leave it blank on the bottom. But then I also have to put my other stuff together. So negative 3y to the 4th plus 10y to the 4th gives me 7y to the 4th. So now 7y to the 4th plus 0x to the 4th, which is just 0, I can just write my answer to be 7y to the 4th. Now one last example. Let's say I have 4x squared minus 3a plus 3b plus 4y squared. Okay? So then, looking at this, do I have any like terms? Well, I have two things that are squared, but they are not the same variable, so they don't go together. I have two things to the first power, but one's a, one's b, and I have some matching coefficients, but like I said before, the coefficients don't matter whether something's like or not. So there's nothing to do, right? So I can't force anything. So then I can say simplest form or you could just say simplified, because it's already done. It's already taken care of. Okay? Have fun.